Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is October 11, 2021, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, oil continues to rally higher to new record highs. Now, there's no major economic events scheduled for today, but as mentioned, we've got lots of news coming up and unfolding this week, including a lot of corporate earnings, specifically in the bank stocks. But first, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, major pairs bounce versus the USD. And then when we look at the indices after the NFP last Friday, unchanged, really didn't add any luster to the markets. Now, when we look at the commodities, gold also unchanged. Oil, as mentioned, is at new record highs. In terms of the stocks, the bank stocks are very strong, breaking out higher. JP Morgan new highs. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, continues to trade higher. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're starting out with the daily of the Euro USD. You can see we got 2 days of a green candle. So that means for now, we do have a little bit of a respite from this downwards momentum, this downwards trend line. You could see it's honoring pretty much this 8-day trend line. So with that said, as we're entering the earnings seasons, this does look like it's giving a bit of a break. Now, when we look at the Aussie dollar, also getting a little bit stronger versus the USD as we look at that, and GBP also getting a little bit stronger as this has really taken a little bit of a correctional move. Now let's just jump into commodities. Now looking at gold, we're pretty much unchanged at 1760. Nothing doing here. But when we look at crude oil, look at that, $80.83, a nice little pivot upwards, and that continues. Okay, it might not happen altogether. It may be a sell-off down to 79.40, but that is a general trend as we're moving higher. Now jumping into the indices, the Dow Jones, all right, we're pretty much trading within these two ranges for now. Okay, 34,640 is the high end and 33,800-ish is the low end right there. So with that said, you know, if we don't break out higher, we may see this actually come down further. Okay, but if it does break above this 3,800, this may get back to that 35,500-ish level. Okay, so that's something to consider going into this week. Now, looking at the Nasdaq stocks, and looking at the Nasdaq first, on a daily, we're still on a downwards trend line. Okay, even though we got a nice bounce last week, this is still a downwards trend line, okay, until it just consolidates here and looks like it's not going to further break down. It's going to look like it's still in a downwards momentum. Now, when we look at the individual stocks, this is where it becomes really interesting. JP Morgan on all-time record highs, $71 a share, okay, as it sold off right afterwards. If we look at Alcoa selling off a little bit more aggressively than JP Morgan. But when we look at the bank stocks, we got the bounce, okay, but is it sustainable? Okay, Apple got a little bit of a bounce, but then tapering off. Facebook really dead because of what's going on with Facebook. Okay, some of the antitrust regulations and issues there. Now looking at Microsoft, we did get that bounce, but again, it's not really sustaining it. So the next couple of days are going to be really important as to which direction the market's going to be taking. Now looking at Bitcoin, this is when the markets funnel their money from the equity markets to something that's adverse to the equity markets. And in this case, it's going to be Bitcoin, which is becoming the new gold of the day. Okay, trading at 56,528, still pushing that higher. Okay, and at this rate, the next real resistance level at 62,000. We're back on our highs from our low of 29,000 back in July. So a big rally there for Bitcoin. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.